Sandy and today I'm filming my February TBR. I ended up not doing a January TBR because I just knew it was going to be a hot mess of reading this month, so I sort of just decided to mood read and read my sort of obligation reads, and then I'm doing a TBR this month because one of my best friends, Tori, is running the series TBR. I thought I had to double check the name of that there when I looked. So this has been run by Tori at Scottish Lass Reads, or a Lash Reads on Twitter, and I will obviously link all of that below. But yeah, so what Tori has done is a bingo board. I'll shuffle you over so we can put the bingo board here, and this bingo board gives 9 prompts, which are continue a series you're excited for, read a book you wanted to read in 2022, finish off a series, read a book released in this last year, free space, read a book that has been out for over a year, start a new series, read a book you want to read in 2023, and continue a series you're unsure about. So I have decided to grab books for this. I also have one additional book just as a mandatory read for this month, an obligatory read, so I will be adding that on top as well, which will have us at 10 books for a TBR, which is a decent sized TBR. Okay, so before I show you books, I'm just going to say, like, we're just going to ignore what's happening on my face because I don't know what the hell's going on, and it's sore, and we're just gonna mention it. I'll delete your comment basically. So I'm gonna go through the prompts again and just tell you what I'm reading for those prompts. First prompt, continue a series you're excited for. For this, I'm going to read Our Lady of Mysterious Ailments by Dale Hitchu. I was so excited to get to the next book in this series once I finished the first one, which I can't remember, The Library of the Dead. I planned to get to this last year and just didn't manage to, but I really want to get this read. There is another book coming out this year which I didn't know. I thought it was a geology, so hopefully I'll be just as excited for that one. This follows our main character Ropa, who can see and speak to the dead, and she lives in Edinburgh in a sort of dystopian, I assume, future, and she sort of receives messages from the dead and hands them over, or like not hands them over, like transfers them to their loved ones for a price, and that's her business. That is how she keeps herself and her grandmother and her sister in food and, you know, keeps them going. This is a really weird dystopian world, and it's really interesting the way it's written, because it seems very like back in the past, but it's actually in the future. So I'm really enjoying the world building so far, and I'm really enjoying Ropa as a character. She's quite acerbic, she's quite standoffish, and you know, she's been roped into saving these children, and sort of you see the softer side of her that way. So yeah, this, I don't want to say too much because this is the second in a series. Prompt number 2 is read a book you wanted to read in 2022. For this, I am going to be reading If Only by Melanie Murphy. This has been on my TBR, and I've been on several TBRs for a while, and I just want to get it read. It is about someone who's about to turn 30, and I just turned 30 in August last year, so I feel like I will relate to this, and I just really need to take the leap and read it. It's one of those books where I'm really apprehensive to read it for some reason, but usually when I'm apprehensive to read a book, I end up really loving it, so hopefully this will go that way. So this is our main character, Erin, who is about to turn 30, and her life isn't going the way she wants it. It says in this, it's basically a mess. And she is given an heirloom by her grandmother, I think it's a necklace, and it allows her to show or to see her what ifs. So like, what if she'd married this guy? What if she'd taken that trip? What if she'd done this? And sort of gives her the view of what would have happened. So it's a really interesting concept. It's a concept that I love. I love The Midnight Library. It's one of my favourite books of all time. So there's no reason why I wouldn't love this book. I just cannot get myself to pick it up. So for this bingo, I'm picking it up. Prompt 3 is to finish a series. And for that, I will be reading Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This is the last book in the Last Hours trilogy, and I'm so pumped to get to this. I got to the end of Chain of Iron, and I was like, I need the next book yesterday. So I will be dropping everything the minute that comes through, and I will be reading that immediately. And this is a 3rd book in the series, but I don't know how to talk about it without spoiling too much. So it's basically, if you know the Shadowhunter world, you know the Shadowhunter world. This is set back in sort of Regency era time. It is the children of the Shadowhunters from the second series that she wrote, so the Prince, like Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, it's their children, and you're basically just following them the same way you do all the Shadowhunter books, just with new characters that I absolutely love. Prompt number 4 is read a book released in the last year. For that, I'm going to read The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. This is actually, so the first time I ever met Tori, Bobby and Pia, who are 3 of my new, like, best friends now, they all got a signed hardback copy of this from Toppings & Co, and I'd never heard of Beth O'Leary, never read a book she'd read, heard about the flat share and was like, how is that even supposed to work? That sounds like a load of crap. Guess what? The flat share turned out to be one of my favourite books of the year. Who would have thunk? So Beth O'Leary and I have a strange relationship. I love the flat share, I love the Switch, I hated the road trip. So this is going to be, it's like, is it going to be the second one that I don't like, or is this going to be another winner? This is about 3 women who turn up for a date with the same guy, not at the same time. So one's at 8:52 AM, 2:43 PM and then 6:30 PM. All 3 of them turn up for their dates to find that the guy has not shown up and he is missing. And that's all I know about it, that's all I want to know about it. I want to say I trust Beth O'Leary, but I don't. But yeah, that's making me want to read this book. Number 5 is a free space, and for that I've decided to put in the 5. The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper by Hallie Rubenhold. This is one of the periods of history that I find really, really interesting. This is actually a book I got from Pia when she was doing her unhaul, and this won the Bailey Gifford Prize for Non-Fiction in 2019. So I wanted to throw in, I've been building up a few non-fictions, so I'm going to see if I can maybe try and get one non-fiction a month on my TBR. If not, not too bad, but you know, like, it's a nice thing to aim for. And Jack the Ripper's victims are something that I'm very, very interested in. I'm loving the surgeons that we're seeing of women's stories being told, of women being sort of brought to the forefront of things that were traditionally told all about men. So you hear a lot about Jack the Ripper, but you don't hear about his victims enough. And finally, you know, people are seeing that his victims deserve to be known, and this is what this book is, and I'm so excited to read it because I just am. I know it sounds really macabre to say that I'm looking forward to reading this, but I think it's going to be a fantastic read. I know somebody else is reading it. I think it's Chloe from oh my god, I can't remember anybody's channel names. I'll link Chloe down below as well and pop a little thing here. She's reading it for a book club that I'm not a part of, but you know, I don't know if it's a Patreon one. I need to rewatch videos. I can't remember. But yeah, Chloe's reading it this month as well, so I'll maybe give her a message and chat to her about it as well. Prompt number 6 is to read a book that has been out for over a year, and for that I've chosen The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. You'll have seen this on a few different TBR videos, because this is another one where I've been holding off reading it for so long because I'm so scared I'm not going to like it, and I just need to take the plunge and just read it, because this is also the second copy that I have. I have 2 copies of this book because I love the other one's cover. The other one has a sort of pale, it's like almost this colour, it's just a slightly different cover. It's up there, I'm not getting it, and I decided to get that because I thought it was beautiful, and this will be my reading copy, that will be my keeping copy. I just need to take the plunge and read it. If I don't like it, fine, but it sounds like a great story. So this is about twins who are they both black, but they both half black, half white. I can't remember. But they're black and they live in America in the South, and they are fair enough skinned, I was going to say faint, that's not the right word, fair enough skinned that they can also pass for white. And one decides that she wants to pass for white and goes and lives in a white neighbourhood, marries a white man, has white children, and the other stays in a black neighbourhood, marries a black man, has black children. And this sort of, as far as I understand, is about that, and then when their lives collide back together again, because obviously the white passing sister is lying about her background to her husband. He does not know that she is in fact of black ancestry, so I think in the time period as well, I don't know if it's something that's going to be a problem. So I don't know. I just don't know. I need to read it. Prompt number 7 is start a new series. For this, again, this has been on so many TBRs, I just need to bite the bullet in February. And that is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I went to read this ages ago for one of Spoops's Patreon buddy reads and just never got around to it, and I've put it on my TBR every month since. So this has been, like, so many people say so many great things about this, and I've got the entire series, so I just need to take the plunge. Bite the bullet February for Andy and just get it read. This is a sci-fi about somebody who's on a ship called the Wayfarer. I really don't know much about this, just that everybody loves it. So I just want to read it. Number 8 is read a book you want to read in 2023, and for that I've chosen It Came From the Deep by Mary Lewis. This, I'm going to be doing a dedicated vlog for the entire series, which is behind me here, but I've yet to read this one and to read the finale, so what I want to do is read this one, and then for my dedicated vlog I will reread all of them and read the finale for the first time. That's what I plan to do anyway, just so you can get my sort of reaction for the last one sort of fresh. And so that I am like reading them all in order, because this is one of the, like, I've read all of these and this sits somewhere in the middle because I've read them all out of order, and so I want to read them in the proper order, get all the information as it's meant to be given, and then read the finale. This is about Amos, who is a Selkie, and a recent high school graduate called Kaya, who is an Olympic swimmer. Kaya almost drowns, Amos saves her, they fall in love. It's a supernatural story. This is the only one whose main character who's supernatural is male, so it'll be interesting to see what she does with that. I know more about Amos from another book, so I'm not going to say too much. So this is your introduction to Amos before he comes into one of the other books, so it'll be nice to get that sort of backfill. And number 9, and the last prompt for the bingo board, is to continue a series you're unsure about. For that, I've picked up Meet Me in Hawaii by Georgia Toffolo. This I was going to pick up for another readathon, for something that had like nice font, and then discovered that this is the second in the series. So I read Meet Me in London, which is the first one, and I cannot decide how I feel about it still. It's been months and I just still don't know how I feel about it, because the things it talks about, the discussions that it has, are absolutely fantastic, but the writing leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm unsure about the series. There's another 2 books in the series, so because I've already got this, I might as well read it, see how I feel about it, see if I want to pick up the other 2 books. If not, you know, at least I've got another book off my TBR. This series follows 4 friends who years ago were in a horrible car accident. I think it was on their prom night, and the girl that they knew that was driving the other car died, and the rest of them were left with various different injuries, scars, both mentally, physically. One of them ended up in a wheelchair, completely paralysed from the waist down. And this, each book follows a different one of these friends. So the first one, Meet Me in London, followed obviously the first friend, and then this follows Mally, and she decided to leave England and go to Hawaii, where she teaches surfing. I believe she is also mixed race, but I cannot remember. I think she might actually be part Hawaiian, and that's why she decided to go to Hawaii, sort of to see her heritage. I might be talking out my ass because I just can't remember. So yeah, I am unsure about the series, so be picking this up and hope that she has improved in her writing. Okay, and the last thing that I'm going to read, which is not on this bingo board because I've completed this bingo board, but is a sort of mandatory read for the month, is This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. This is the Schwab-along book for the month. I did want to get it onto the bingo board prompts, but I didn't want to take a single one of those books off. So that says a lot about, you know, the mindset I'm going into my TBR with. I don't want to not read any of these books. I just wanted to add this on. And 9 books, 10 books. 10 books isn't a lot. I read, you know, some months last month I read 20 books. Last year. So 10 books should be fine, especially since some of them are quite short or are young adult or romance books. I should be able to get through them a lot quicker. Chain of Thorns is going to be the big chunker on the list. But I also speed through those books because I don't want to put it down. So I'll be fine. But yeah, This Savage Song, I barely know anything about it. I know there's something to do with music and monsters, and that's it. It is the Schwab-a-Long book, therefore I'm going to pick it up. The live show for A Conjuring of Light, which is the last book for this month of January, will be after this video, so if you want to go onto the Schwab-a-Long TikTok, the Schwab-a-Long Twitter or Discord to get the dates for that, we will be discussing, or they will be discussing, the last in the Dark Shade of Magic series, which is A Conjuring of Light, and then this month, end of February, we'll be discussing This Savage Song. So that is why I'm reading this. It's trying to get an angle where the lamp does not blur the text, honestly. Okay, so that is my February TBR. Wish me luck for this. I've just looked over and can see the Heroes of Olympus that I've yet to pick up. That was on my December TBR. But these are rereads, so I'll just be making my way through them when I feel like it. So that's absolutely fine. But yeah, just looking up and seeing those 5 big chunky books staring at me was like, oh yeah, I forgot about you. That's my February TBR. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll put links for everybody down in the description. I'll put all of my affiliate links, things like that, down in the description, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!